Hello and welcome to Blue Girls Video Podcast. I've got dreams of September 2019. The cut. I remember feeling a surgical cut from my lower left side, front and back. I also remember Jillian Anderson sitting in a chair next to a twin bed that my youngest brother is lying down. They are having a conversation and he is praising someone. Also, I see Jillian Anderson is giving me a lift of couple of blocks. Oh, okay. Well, in September 2019, I had a full hysterectomy, so this is probably what's going on. It was the left side. I mean, they took a full hysterectomy, so the next dream is e-bike. During this day, I remember walking down the street and talking to someone, possibly my older brother, and telling him about an e-bike that I want to purchase in real life. I mentioned that it needs to be so many watts and cannot go faster than 32 miles per hour. Then at nighttime, I'm in my brother's garage. His car isn't parked in there, and I turn on the headlights of the e-bike to see if it's working. Then a homeless man with a blanket seems to wander into the garage, which is a little odd because there are no homeless people where my brother lives. Anyway, I really recall trying to scoot him out of the garage. The homeless man reminds me of the guy in Spitfire Grill, a good movie. Oh yeah, I've been trying to get for years. There's an electric bike or another kind of bike where you don't have to have a driver's license. That's the one I want. The issue with that is that each state is different. Like, it can only be so many watts in order to be considered eligible to not have a license. And like I said, each state is different. And so it kind of depends. And they're quite expensive for just, a bike and throwing a motor on there. So anyway, so the next dream is, okay, also I vaguely remember wanting to go somewhere with the e-bike, possibly a coastline, possibly a foreign country, or California or Oregon. I'm hesitant about going to Mexico, partially because of the language barrier and the recent mass killings. Well, this was in 2019, so I'm not for sure. Okay, Charlotte. I don't remember much of this dream at all, but I remember my youngest brother being in a dream. I'm walking in a downtown area, see U.S. flags. It reminds me of Charlotte, North Carolina, but not sure if it's Charlotte since all I see is a glimpse of the city. I also recall wanting to put all my stuff in storage. So, the next dream is underwater camera. Me and some other women were at this young woman's place. It may have been a trailer, not sure. I just remember that she wouldn't let anyone use her bathroom for some reason. So maybe it was broken. I remember us looking at an old-fashioned tub. Then I recall the young woman who lived there mentioning that she just graduated from the university in sociology. She had an accent when she told us. Then the woman is swimming underwater and she has really long hair and can see and dream her hair going in all kinds of directions. I've been wanting to go get an underwater camera for some time now. Yeah, so this is true. I've been wanting to get an underwater camera I've never been scuba diving. But like off the coast of Mexico or Florida or whatever, I would love to do that. Not too deep or whatever, but I think that would be, just really cool videos and stuff like that to get that. Okay, so the next dream is rings. That's what it says. Okay. Rings. I was up all night, didn't feel like sleeping, going to ask doctor for sleeping meds. This month is my mom's birthday. She would have been 78 years old. I received a gift in the mail this month from a relative. Now I have both my mom's and grandmother's rings. Oh yeah. One of the reasons I am bringing this up is I felt my mom's presence during the night. Let's see here. This is September 3rd, 2018. Okay, mileage membership. There are a couple of women looking at a paper that has been printed out. I see the words of a large city in the Midwest and Holland, which a friend of mine has visited her relatives there many years ago. Then one of the women wanted to transfer possibly an airline mileage membership number to a friend so that she could go on a trip with them. My high school friend and her husband are also in the dream as well. The university, there is this young African American woman sitting on the bottom bunk of her bed at the top, and the top bunk has a Caucasian young woman. They're both staying in student housing. However, for some reason, the African American woman is not a student and is concerned about where she will live. She has stayed in other student housing before, but she may have been a student. Later, I see her walking around outside on a sunny day. Okay, so the next dream is going to be Ben-Hur. Ben-Hur. Well, I had a full hysterectomy, and it turned out that the ovarian cyst was a tumor after all. Then at the same time, my 80-year-old aunt is dealing with breast cancer, so as I'm healing, I am providing plenty of activities for myself. I re-signed up for Ancestry, and that is pretty time-consuming. I have a couple movies to watch to complete the AFI Top 100 Movies. I did complete that, by the way. It was kind of strange, but the part of the movie where the character Judah Ben-Hur asked for God's help after that asshole wouldn't let him drink any water. Then Jesus is there and gives him some water. It's a little odd because Jesus doesn't even talk in this movie. And in this particular scene, his back is to the camera and cannot see his face. So then last night was awakened to a white figure with similar hairstyle of Jesus from movie. But he was facing me. It was kind of odd. It wasn't a ghost or even a person, but like a white figure of white light. It was really strange. I am also wondering if maybe it was a flashback for a forgotten memory when I was in surgery. Yeah, I don't remember this dream. I don't even remember the movie too much. I don't think it was my favorite one. But anyway, so who knows? I meant, with surgery, I could have, woken up and then went back, just in and out. You never know. So that could have been true with that part. Okay, so the next dream is undercover. There was this young woman who was at some place where it was mainly guys living there. I remember her telling a young boy in the elevator that she has cancer, which I do not know why she would tell him. Then I remember thinking about an old high school friend or female acquaintance beginning with the letter A. The woman was told that she was overweight but quite beautiful, and I remember her being competitive. So this one woman was going to go undercover and use a different name and offer this woman to do the same. They would both go to meet the woman with the letter A, but the second woman didn't feel comfortable doing that, fearing that A would recognize her. I do not know why this woman wanted to go undercover. Her name also began with the letter A as well. So I don't remember this. This is kind of strange. I think I know who A is. I'm not sure. But I think I know who it was. Okay, so the next one is bikes. There's a bikes. Let's see here. There it is. Okay. I don't remember much of this dream. I recall a young woman walking in an area of a mall. The mall does look familiar, so I think I may have had a dream of this mall before. Also, I see these bicycles chained to several poles instead of a bike rack. Maybe it's a bike sale. Okay, so the next dream is going to be a little birdie told me. I had another dream of a gold-colored doorknob, but it was brighter and real gold. Then in real life, on the 5th, went to bed, and while I was awake, I saw a misshape, somewhat like a square, possibly shoulders, 8 feet off the ground, near the bathroom door with the golden knob. It shortly disappeared, and I said, "What the F is that?" So that dream did come true. Real life. Okay, here's real life. A little birdie told me. This would be on June 5th, the day of my review. We scheduled for 17th. So in the mail, I received something with a bank date June 19, saying that at ATM, whatever. Well, I'm not going to really talk about this because I don't know why I would. Well, it just says another little birdie. I don't really want to. Yeah. Surgery. Okay, not making sense is the next dream. On the 3rd and last night, I felt my deceased mom's presence. Who else could it be? Her birthday is this month, plus my youngest brother showed up at my older brother's house unannounced. I had several dreams last night. Most of it cannot remember. Most of what I remember is really didn't make any sense. I remember a young girl who wanted to get a support group going for girls, but a Russian lady just gave the girl a gift package, one item being a Russian vodka. Then a young girl seemed to be shopping at a thrift store. She also has a black cat like I once had. Late at night, I'm getting the word tar. They did tar the parking lot at my building sometime in the beginning of August. Everyone had to park their cars elsewhere. Okay, walking around is the next one. This young woman was walking around an unfamiliar area. I see her looking into a bar with a long countertop and not that many people in there. Then I see an area that is close to water. I also see her in a building waiting to go into an old-fashioned elevator to use the bathroom. I also sense that she really doesn't want to be in contact with some of her former friends or acquaintances. I also am getting the word damage. Okay, so garage sale. Anyway, my dream last night was about a young girl. I see her walking around looking for possibly a Wendy's restaurant, not sure, something strange. Whatever. But I see her going to the counter at this one fast food place. Like it's a restaurant plus another store as well. I see her getting something with 2 pieces of bread. Also there seems to be possibly an outdoor garage sale of someone that is possibly a hoarder because I see all the crap all over the place, like a pile of stationery, my eye drop medication, then possibly a pile of electronics. The city kind of reminds me of a town across the water, but not sure because I have only visited there once in a real life. I also see this young woman turning her head around and seeing water in the distance. Also, Woody Harrelson and his wife are at the garage sale. Okay. All right. So the next dream is different rooms. I'm still in September of 2019. I did wake up a couple of times early in the morning, once at 3 something, and then about 7:30. Do not remember all of my dreams. The dream starts off with 2 overweight African-American women talking to possibly a woman in the attic. It's almost like they are yelling or arguing with the woman and later go into the attic when she is gone. Then a young woman is being bullied by a couple of girls. One woman has long red hair, punker rocker. Alternative, for some reason, reminds me of the character Chucky, a movie I have never seen. Later, she meets 2 guys. One is her friend, and then both have dark hair, and the area doesn't look familiar to me, but reminds me of out east. She is supposed to catch the Blue Line bus, but it isn't for sure which side of the street to catch bus. I guess she ended up tossing her bullies as if they were like dolls and therefore needs protection and help from her friend. Then a young guy is organizing a small furnished room that he just moved into. He found some guy's clothes in the drawers and he didn't know was a previous guy there before him. With the clothes being found, a sheriff wants to question him about something. The guy doesn't seem to know anything about the sheriff's concern. Okay. Crazed guy chasing me. I am awakened from a nightmare. There was this crazed, homeless-looking man chasing me with a hammer. Oh, my God. I do not know why he was chasing me. I just remember him chasing me into the kitchen. I then turned around to look at him and then awoke in the middle of the night. I also remember telling some guy about my hysterectomy, which happened in real life. I may have had the dream about the homeless guy because of a synagogue burning down close to my building. You may have heard about it in the news since it did get global attention in social media. A homeless guy set the fire and tried to put it out, but couldn't. It wasn't a hate crime, okay? Triangle. Okay. Getting word deny, September 20th. Also forgotten dream. I recall riding on a bus in a middle-class neighborhood with mainly houses. I recall the route going up a hill, then turning left, then another left, almost like a triangle. I recall the downtown area having a head shop with several young female women working there. Then next door to them was an abandoned empty store that maybe had an advertisement with a phone number on it. Okay, so the next dream is grandma. I wouldn't usually record this dream, but sometimes when I don't record the dream later, I see part of the dream manifest in real life. Anyway, I see an old lady sitting at her desk, and then I recall me showing up for a job for one day and wondering if this would cause problems with my student loan debt. Okay, meatloaf. A young woman has a set of ink stamps, kind of home country style, and then I see her with meat like she is preparing to make meatloaf. I guess a guy was going to pay her for something, possibly watching his children, which she didn't know he was going to pay her. Legs. This dream was odd. It's like a woman's legs were sticking out of another dimension and landing in front of me while I was sleeping, which woke me up, by the way. They were not my legs in the dream because mine are fatter. Well, that's good to know, right? Also in real life, I have had problems with my left leg. Then I fell back asleep. Another odd dream. Well, that's a surprise, right? There were these neighbors, and one of the women was looking at another woman who was a friend, neighbor, acquaintance, I don't know. They were standing in the kitchen when one of the women started throwing dishes on the floor to break them. She was looking into the woman's face to piss her off. I don't remember this dream. Okay, so that might have been crashes. Okay, crashes. At a couple of dreams, one, I was sitting in a dimly lit front room with my oldest brother. We were watching a show on YouTube on an old-fashioned TV. It was a 130-minute show which crashed and turned off by itself at 125 minutes. Close to the ending, I remember touching a part of the TV, but not the turn-off button, so was surprised when it shut off by itself. It was like when a laptop crashed and shuts down, which actually happened in real life a couple of days ago. Okay, so this is September 26, 2019. Okay, hiding. I recall visiting a friend that I hadn't seen in a long time. We also were sitting in his front room, and it was a different apartment. I guess he was having some problems with one of his neighbors. Then I left. Then I was traveling on a bus, not for sure where I was traveling, but it looks like the route in which I take to visit friends who live a couple of hours away. I was sitting on the left side of the bus and saw several police cars and other cars, possibly state patrol, not sure, but it was an urgent situation because there was a lot of cars passing the bus. Then I recall a younger guy with long blonde hair, 80s hairstyle haircut, that was hiding in one of the seats, kind of scrunched down. Maybe he was trying to sleep, but it looked like an odd position. We stopped at a location that reminded me of Milwaukee, and I proceeded to the front of the bus to ask the driver a question or tell him something. It looked like the video, but the cars were closer together. Okay. So, okay, so from hiding, saw several police cars. I haven't seen any police cars today, but have heard quite a bit from my apartment. I found out that a location close by as a power outage, so people are without electricity. Yeah. Okay, hitching a ride. This is the last one for September 2019. I have had a dream of this guy before. Sometimes when I read these, I don't know if they're dreams or I'm just kind of writing. I should put it in there that this isn't a dream, or if it's just kind of my opinion. I've had a dream of this guy before. He and his sister are sitting on a thread bar couch. The young woman is trying to hitch a ride with her brother to the city in which he lives. She is willing to purchase a return bus ticket for about $200 to prove she will be returning home. She mentions that she can be quiet. There seems to be possibly another guy that she should possibly hitch a ride from as well. I also remember her wanting to sneak some things into storage, but for some reason she doesn't remember the location of storage. Now, I am remembering another dream from many years ago regarding a storage facility and thinking, why would anybody want to live in Los Angeles? I stored my items in a storage facility, and I'm not going to say where because I was planning to move to a city. This never happened in real life, the city I'm thinking about. Yeah, I kind of remember that one dream. It was like I was going to go to Los Angeles. It's like, why would anybody live in Los Angeles? And then it was, I don't know, it was actually some city in Washington in real life, but I didn't end up there. Let's see here. Okay, so that is going to be the end of this blog, video, whatever the heck you want to call it. So we covered September 2019. And thank you for watching.